So slowly, time goes by, time goes by. So slowly, time goes by. So slowly, time goes by.
Let's take The device has been modified. The device has been modified. The device has been modified.
The All-Invitational VII.
Welcome to the next stage of destiny.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the All-Invitational VII. I am your Master of Ceremonies, as always, All-In Harlock. Here I am. Hello. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you all once again. It's a very special night tonight. This will be the final All-Invitational VII cast ever, I guess. We've got a really special night for you tonight for a couple of reasons, which we'll get into. I guess reason number one is this is the grand finals. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last series. We figured out the consolation match, Manipulation versus Nexlux off stream. Unfortunately, that won't be cast, but suffice it to say that Manipulation took the series, so he finishes third, Nexlux finishes fourth. Congratulations to Manipulation. Really great showing. I didn't, no offense to him or anything, but I did not expect him to finish that highly. Definitely, I was sleeping on him. I wasn't aware of how sinister his Proxy 2 gate was, but he really showed some great games and took out some top all-inners, I would say. So, super duper congratulations to him for his excellent showing in his very first All-Invitational, and of course, congratulations to Nexlux as well. He's an old timer in the history of All-In, but he's always managed to put up some good results in the All-Invitationals, and fourth is nothing to scoff at. So, congratulations to them both. We've got our third and fourth place, but tonight we get to decide which all-inner is the most all-iniest of them all, and we have really, I'd say at this point, probably the top two, right? I mean, that's the whole point of this tournament, is to figure out who the best of the best are, and we've narrowed it down to two. We've got, of course, Tang, our glorious leader. What is there to say about Tang? He's the defending All-Invitational champion. Hell of a guy. Super creative player. It's been a pleasure to work with him throughout my tenure at All-In. And I'm super excited to see any games that he plays, because you're going to see something a little strange, something you're not used to. It'll be great to see some games from him, but we've also got going up against him another Zerg, VII, who is a relative newcomer in All-In. She's only been with us for, a few months or so, but in that short time, she's really managed to, I think, kind of make her mark on the team. Definitely is one of our top players, and all around a super cool person to talk to and work with. And if anyone has a chance of taking out Tang, I'd say it's Scion. Looking at the bracket, looking at who signed up for the tournament, I would have probably put Lucid as his most dangerous opponent, but obviously we didn't get to see those games on stream thanks to the most recent patch, which made all of our replays get broken. But judging by the results of that series, Tang made Lucid look kind of dumb. Sorry, Lucid. I know you would probably say they weren't your best games, so I don't think he would be too upset to hear me say this, but yeah, Tang dealt with Lucid pretty handily, it sounded like. So with him out of the picture, Scion is heir to the All-In throne, as it were. So this should be a really great series. I'm super excited to cast it. Don't think we'll be seeing any 4-0s or anything like that tonight. So that's super special. And another reason why it's special is it is my birthday, or at least I guess it's not technically anymore, but within the past 24 hours it's been my birthday. So what better way to spend one's birthday than with some StarCraft 2 action? I'm excited to cast these series, and yeah, I mean, there's some more stuff going on which we'll get into after the cast, I suppose, but for now, let's focus on what matters. These two players, head to head. It's the grand finals is a best of 7, and we are starting on Fruitland. After that, loser picks from the remaining pool, no duplicates. So I don't know what to expect. Get your bets in now, folks, because this could go either which way. It's ZVZ, super volatile matchup, as we all know. So I think anyone's predictions are probably worthless. You know, if you had to go on paper, Tang is probably favored, but I feel like the skill gap between these two players is as narrow as it gets, especially when it comes to all-in players. So could very easily go either way. And I know I said we were going to be doing this live. The scheduling didn't quite work out, but these replays are hot off the presses. They are like less than an hour old, so it's as good as live in my opinion. And we won't have to deal with any lag or anything like that. So you know what? Maybe it's even better than live. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, and apologies for not having any decent casters for the grand finals. I know that's what I said I would try to do, and I really did try. The scheduling just didn't work out, and I didn't want to sit on these replays for that much longer when we could just finally, at the end of the long All-Invitational 7 road, we could finally be done with it. You know, why make the people wait? They want to see these games, and who am I to try and keep it from them? So I'll be solo casting tonight, and we'll see how that goes. I will admit I'm a little bit drunk. I had a family birthday dinner just a few hours ago that I'm still recovering from, so this could get a little silly, but I'm hyped. I know you guys are hyped, so I think we're going to get through this. Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say, so I'm going to go ahead and get the first game set up on Fruitland, and I'll see you guys right after the break. Stay tuned.
VII versus Tang.
Alright, here we are on Fruitland, spawning in the bottom left corner. The purple Zerg, the challenger, the heir apparent, the dank memstress herself. It is.
VII.
And spawning in the top right corner as the teal Zerg, our leader, the man who needs no introduction, but I guess I gotta give him one anyway. It is.
Tang.
Alright, well, here we are on Fruitland. You know, when I was setting up the tournament, I knew I wanted the finals to start on Fruitland, because what a great map it is, you know? It's just so cool, so memorable, probably one of my favorite custom maps, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, never will I run a tournament that doesn't have Fruitland in it. It's just too cool, you know? It's got all kinds of neat stuff. We've seen in this tournament the lemons come into play a number of times, mostly in games involving Blink SCV, so big shout-outs to him for that, for taking advantage of the neat map features. But yeah, I didn't want the finals to go by without a game on Fruitland, so I thought I better set it first just to be sure. So we'll see what kind of game we get from these players off of this. Looks like Sion's going to go for a quicker hatch than Tang does. Tang has not getting even gas yet, so I'm a little curious about what he's up to. Scion seems to be going for a much much more standard gas hatch pool build, while Tang is just staying on this pool. Looks like he's going for his hatch now at the natural. It's a little bit delayed maybe, but he is getting the earlier lings, which might allow him to put some pressure onto Scion. I feel like with her build, she'll be in a pretty good spot to receive the aggression and deal with it appropriately, but her Overlord does scout those lings moving across the map now, so she should be able to muster up something in response to it. Tang's Queen just popping up now. Scion putting down a spine. I wonder, she might be thinking Tang is up to a little bit more aggressive play than perhaps he really is. But she did see the hatchery that he's thrown down, so she knows this is probably the extent of it for now. But I can't blame her for wanting to be a little safer than sorry on that front. She's got lings of her own out now, so let's see how she can deal with it. She's got the queen to anchor, so she should be fine. Shouldn't really take any losses from this. And she can move that spine down to the lower creep with her recently finished hatchery as well. So, yeah, I think she handled that quite well. She's got the earlier hatchery. Tang still isn't completed, though it should be done fairly soon. And Tang hasn't even started gas yet, so he won't be able to do any early roach play or any baneling or zergling play anytime soon. Looks like Scion's thinking about going for the baneling now, so there she goes. Gets it down now, so looks like she might be returning Tang's early aggression with a little bit of her own. Tang seems to be realizing that that's a concern and throwing down some spines at his natural, which just finished, getting a queen in position to be ready to block the ramp if he needs to. Yep, here comes the second queen. Gonna put down a creep tumor to help connect the creep ridge there. But yeah, I mean, Tang is ahead in food though. You know, it's so incredible to see how he finds ways to get ahead, even in situations where on paper you'd think he should be behind. So that's really amazing. Scion's stuck at 28/28 right now, waiting for 2 overlords to pop. But in the meantime, Tang is just kind of slowly crawling ahead in the food count. I mean, looks like those overlords popped 4 Scion. She's gonna belch out a big round of lings. So if Tang isn't prepared for this, this could be bad. But I feel like with those two spines, he's got 2 queens for ramp blocking. He does have an idle idle drone here, not doing much of anything. But here come the lings across the map right now. Big swell for Scion. I don't know if Tang, he's going to see it with this lord, so he might have a sense that it's on the way, and he does see the banelings morphing for her, so he should be able to start getting some kind of defense up, but will it be in time, I guess, is the question. Not waiting for the banelings to finish, lings shooting in, but coming back out when they see all those spines. I don't think he's going to get this wall finished in time, though. Queen caught out of position by these lings, going to finish him off. Baneling's blowing up right on the spine, but there's still 1 spine left and a couple of queens that are able to transfuse it, but lings say, screw it, we're going to go for the main, target down some drones. Drones start to engage them, but then go ahead and run down to the natural. Now Scion targeting down these queens. Looks like she's going to get all 3 of them, which is pretty great, and then all Tang has to defend are these drones, but it looks like, yeah, it looks like drones are going to be enough. That was a weird engagement. Scion trying to hide some lings in the back right corner to make some banes, but Tang has found him with his drones. Is he going to be able to finish him off with these drones, though? Drones are okay damage, but oh man, it's getting close. All right, he gets them all out. Nice work. No banelings yet to sneak into Tang's mineral line. Tang has no army units on the map, and still this 1 drone that's just slacking off. And behind all this, Scion did manage to grab her 3rd hatchery, and going up to a lair. Tang is still Tang's getting his lair as well, but no 3rd. So I feel like you'd have to say, no matter what, that Scion was ahead here, even if her attack didn't do that much damage. Definitely did set Tang behind in the larva department. Not able to create more queens with this 1 hatchery that's going to lair. So all he has is this 1 hatch working on making new queens, so that's going to take a while to get him back up to full queen saturation. Yeah, it looks like both players going for roach horns now. I think they both sense a roach mid-game is imminent here. We'll have to see what happens when the players' lairs start finishing. Scion's is just finished, and Tang's is nearly completed. So we'll see if they start getting roach upgrades, or maybe they go towards Spire. Looks like Scion's going to go for the roach speed and the missile attack upgrades. So definitely she's going to play into these roaches. Looks like Tang is as well. He's getting double roach upgrades plus the roach speed. So looks like no advanced tech anytime soon from either of these players. No Spire, nothing like that. Just going to be good old-fashioned roach-on-roach aggression. But that puts Scion in a pretty good place with her extra hatchery. Tang is starting to get some roaches out on the map now, but so is Scion, and she's got a little bit more production than he does, especially when you start to consider the fact that she's had queens for such a longer period of time compared to Tang. She hasn't quite got one on her third yet, but the larva that's naturally spawning there is enough to put her ahead in the production department. Tang kind of moving his static D up a little bit out towards a position where he could better defend a hypothetical third. He has thrown down a third hatchery finally, though. Y Scion does see it. He's taking the forward third rather than the more defensible third back up here, so that's a little interesting play. Makes you think he is kind of leaning towards a more aggressive stance going into the next few minutes of the game. Having a more forward hatchery will allow him to reinforce a little bit easier, but obviously makes him weaker in the defensive department. Yeah, both players now just working on upgrades, working on getting roaches out. Scion is working, or no, I'm sorry, Tang is working on +2/+2, whereas Scion is just now finishing +1 attack and just starting +1 armor. So definitely looks like Tang is going to have the edge here. Tang goes for an attack on Scion's third, and Scion is pulling away from it. Looks like she's ready to give it up, but she is working on mustering out some more roaches to help defend. It looks like Tang is going to scoot out of there, realizing maybe the fight is not in his favor after all. Right now, Tang does have the upgrade advantage, but not by a lot. Still ways off his 2-2. Scion moving down a spine crawler here to her third to help protect it, and Tang's third is now finished. Got a changeling in there for Y Scion to see everything that's going on. She sees exactly the roach count. Getting pretty scary at this point. You know, the food is pretty equal, but it's getting to the point where, you know, if your roaches are a little out of position, that the other player's roaches can just come in and snipe a building real quick when you're not looking, and that can be pretty scary. But Y Scion's posting up by her third as Tang moves across the map. Looks like he's going to run up towards the natural, but Y Scion catches him excuse me, at the top of the ramp, and he has to pull back to the watchtower. Boy, this seems like a pretty close game. Yeah, neither player has a super clear edge. I mean, Tang's +2/+2 is almost done, so that's obviously pretty good for him. But Y Scion has the defender's advantage in this case, so I feel like that kind of neutralizes that advantage. I'm not sure what the right thing to do is here. I feel like somebody probably needs to maybe think about working in some Hydralisks into the back of their army to get some extra DPS. But neither player seems super interested in doing that right now. No one's doing nothing except getting roaches and getting upgrades. Y Scion does have a better economy. She is mining at her third, where Tang is just defending it with spines and using it for production as he kind of positions around the map. Y Scion staying kind of split up at the top of her ramp, ready to receive some aggression from Tang. Looks like he's thinking about moving up, but she's ready for him. Let's see if he goes for it. Spine crawl moving in for Scion, and Tang does start to bully his way up the ramp, but realizes that engagement's not going to work out for him and pulls back again. Looks like he's going to try to run around and go up towards the third, but Y Scion has good vision with her overlords and her creep that's letting her see where Tang is thinking about attacking from. I don't think there's any way he can really get up here with Y Scion's concave, but he's trying. Boy, is he trying. Real ballsy play from Tang here. I don't see this working out for him, but maybe he just wants to force a trade. He's got the worst economy, but I feel like this isn't good for him. But he does have an upgrade advantage that looks like it's pulling him through. Hard to believe this is going in Tang's favor. I mean, given how bad his positioning was on that ramp, I'm shocked that he's pulling through here. But he really did. He has destroyed Scion's army with his bonus upgrades. She's trying to rally some reinforcements, ready to take a position by that spine if she needs to. But Tang is smartly fighting away from the spine crawler as Scion's reinforcements do spawn in. Yeah, it looks like Tang will eventually be thwarted off here, but he did pretty good damage to her army and to her workers. Looking at the fight right now, it's still pretty much dead even, so it's hard to say who's ahead and who's not here, but Let's see, Tang still has no drones on his third, so all he's really done is kind of bring Scion back down to his economic level and force her army to be totally rebuilt. Boy, it looks like Scion's going to go for Burrow, so maybe she's thinking about some Burrow Roach shenanigans. I don't think she has tunneling claws for her roaches yet, though. So she'll need to research that if she really wants to get some value out of there. Tang bringing spine crawlers with his roach army? What is happening here? I'm not even sure what to say about this. What does he think he's doing with those? Kind of forcing my Scion to pick and choose which avenue of attack to defend. But Scion's caught these spine crawlers foolishly trying to climb up the ramp. That's a good idea on paper, but didn't really work out. Another attack at the ramp of Scion's third here, but now their upgrades are equal, so Tang shouldn't have such an easy time bullying his way up there. And yeah, I think we're seeing... He does have a better concave, but I think the end result of the fight is going to be pretty... Well, it looks like he is breaking through. Scion's forced to retreat back to her spine, where she's got a queen to help transfuse and anchor that army a little bit. She definitely has a much better... Well, Tang's finally got some dronage on his third base, so they're about equivalent in terms of economy at this point. Yeah, both players pretty low saturation in their main, good saturation at the natural, and good saturation at the third. Wow, Tang actually gets his fourth up well before Scion even thinks about it. So finally he's starting to take an economic macro lead in this game, even while putting on some good pressure as well. So very impressive play from Tang here. But Sion's had enough of defense. She's going to go for an attack of her own here. Pushing up towards Tang's third, thinking about moving in, but Tang's got his army in position, so she's got to be careful what kind of an engagement she takes here. Kind of patrolling back and forth by the watchtower, looking for an opening. Looks like she might try to run by towards Tang's fourth, or maybe go right for his natural. I think the fourth would be a better target, but I'm not sure she knows that it exists. She doesn't have an overlord or anything over there, but she's going to go check smartly with her roaches, and she finds it, so she could be able to cancel this real easily, and she does. So that should give her plenty of time to get her fourth up now ahead of Tang, so now she needs to take a more defensive position on this fourth, I guess, and see if Tang tries to mimic what she just did and go for a cancel. Boy, looks like... Scion thinking about getting Bane speed here, maybe anticipating a Hydra switch from Tang, but it doesn't look like that's on the menu for him. He's got an infestation pit, must be for a hive so that he can get 3-3, but a big engagement here by Tang's third. I feel like Sion's got the lead here. She's got the better roach count, and Tang's now taking a very good position on this engagement. Upgrade still equal, no one getting their 3-3 yet because no one has hive. Looks like Tang's going to lose it all to Sion's superior concave. Looks like he finally thinks better of it and starts to pull back, but it might be too late. A small amount of spearlings in here to harass them if they move back. But yeah, looks like Tang might be in trouble here. His whole army is getting camped. I don't see any way he's going to be able to defend this third base. Doesn't have a fourth up to transfer these drones too, so this might just be it. More and more speedlings being added by Scion to help get reinforcements to the fight faster and tie up Tang's roaches in melee combat while she harasses his workers and maybe takes down his hatchery there. Lots of drone kills there going down to Scion's roaches. Tang's trying to muster up a defensive force, but just not enough are coming at it once, I feel like, to be able to stand up to Sion's standing army. And Tang GG's. He's had enough. He's been taken out, and Scion takes game 1 on Fruitland versus Tang. Holy moly! Wow, what a game. Yeah, I am shocked that Scion was to take a game from Tang that soundly, especially since she was in such a defensive position so early on in the game. But she managed to do it. She managed to weather the Tang storm and see her way through. Some good counter aggression, a good snipe on that fourth when Tang tried to get a little bit too greedy, perhaps. And yeah, she looked real good throughout that game, even with Tang's upgrade leads at times. She took better engagements than Tang, I think, was the main thing. Tang kept trying to bully his way up ramps that maybe he shouldn't be going up, and Scion just kept a cool head, kept an eye on his army, made sure she was in position to intercept him whenever he tried to come into her turf, and wow, I'm super impressed by that game. That was great. I hope the rest of the series lives up to that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take a short break while I get Game 2 set up. It's going to be, looks like Tang has chosen Annihilation Station Reeve for Game 2, so that should be pretty good. So we'll go to a short few minute break while I get that set up, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned, guys.
I can't stop.
VII versus Tang.
Alright, welcome back, folks. Here we are on Annihilation Station Re for Game 2. Spawning in the top right corner, the Purple Zerg, who has just proven to us all that gods can in fact bleed. Can she keep it up? She is.
VII.
And spawning in the bottom left corner, the man who has suffered a defeat unlike any we have seen in the All-Invitational before. Can he rally and bring it back? He is.
Tang.
Alright, here we are, Annihilation Station Re. I really like this map. I am, you know, kind of... I have an affinity for space tile set maps to begin with, but this one especially I think is really cool. I'm not even sure what it is exactly about it. It kind of reminds me of Frost in the base layout, but obviously it's a 2-player map, not a 4-player map, so there's less randomness to deal with in terms of spawns. Yeah, I'm glad Tang picked this map. I think this plays into kind of a standard macro-favored style, and I think maybe that's where he went wrong in Game 1, is he tried to go for some early aggression, which didn't work out really well for him. And I think probably his edge over VII is going to be in the more macro focus. He's got the cleaner mechanics, or at least he should, you know, on paper, being a Grandmaster and all. So we'll just have to see if he falls back into more reliance on that or continues to try to shake things up with some weird early aggression. I don't think that that's going to get him as much mileage for Scion as maybe it has versus some of his other opponents in the All-Invitational 7. Scion, I think, is pretty good at dealing with that kind of stuff. I feel like she sees it a lot in the places that she plays, so I don't think that's the way to throw her off. I think the way to throw her off is to show your better mechanics, get ahead in the macro department, and just outproduce her from there, rather than try this cute stuff, but we'll have to see. Looks like Tang is going for a more conservative approach this time, so we'll have to see how this works out compared to Game 1. Pretty similar builds from both players at this point, except that Tang does not have gas, whereas Scion does. This seems to be kind of a trademark of... Oh, there he goes. Okay, Tang's starting to get gas now. So there will be a period of time where Scion's got Ling speed and Tang does not, that maybe she can try to exploit. Overlord coming in here for Scion to take a peek at Tang's natural. Tang's queen going to try to shoo it away. I don't know if he's going to get the kill, though. I don't think he will. Scion not realizing perhaps that that's an Overlord perch she could park her Overlord on safely, but she's got some good vision. This is a really great place to keep your Overlord because you've got vision on both of the exit ramps out of the opponent's base. Looks like Tang not getting his Overlord in that same position. Only having vision of this one ramp, but that's likely the one to be used if they're going for early aggression, so fair enough. Scion going for a Baneling Nest and Ling Speed here, whereas Tang is throwing up some Spine Crawlers. Not looking good for Scion if she is planning on going for an early Ling Bane bust. Tang in a pretty good spot to defend this. He's got his 2 queens to block the ramp and 2 spines to defend. 2 links for Scion coming in to scout. Gonna see the Spine Crawlers. Not gonna get any scouting whatsoever. This Overlord, boy, being pretty ballsy, but it does get away at last. Baneling Nest finished for Scion. Is she gonna go for a Ling Swell to try and capitalize on this, or is she gonna let it ride? Looks like she's gonna just make a tiny amount of Banelings for defense and not worry too much about it being aggressive. Looks like Tang is kind of sneaking into a macro lead here. Supply's pretty even, and in fact, Scion does have one more worker than Tang at this point, but Tang does have the food lead here. And there he goes. The round of drones finish, and he sneaks into the worker lead. So, looks like he is doing what I was thinking before, where he's going to try a more macro-focused build than trying to do anything sneaky early. Is going for upgrades, +1 melee, so we should see roaches coming out, I would imagine. He is getting his Roach Warren. He's getting 2 Roach Warrens. What is this shenanigans? Is he going to go for some Burrow Roach play? Or has he just made a mistake? I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Scion throwing down some spines of her own while she goes for a third base. And her lair is finished, but no Roach Warren down for her yet. So I wonder what she's going to do. Wow, Tang going for a wall to end all walls. What even is this? Is that four Evo chambers? And a queen there who's, I think, locked out of the base anyway. So what's the... what even is this? I don't know. Tang going for his lair. And obviously no research on either of the Roach Warrens till that lair is done. Going for his 4th gas. He's got full saturation on both his bases, so it doesn't seem like he is thinking about taking a 3rd base with this ginormous wall. Scion sneaks the Overseer into the base, drops a Changeling. Looks like she's going to try to get a sense of what he's up to, but I don't know if she's going to realize the double Roach Warren. Sees the lair just finished. There's not a whole lot for her to see in here, really, besides the 2 Roach Warrens. She does probably have... Oh, there we go. Stuck queen gets back into the base. Yeah, I wonder what she's thinking after that scout. Obviously, yeah, must be something aggressive coming at her if he's not going for a 3rd base. So she's doubling down on the spine crawlers. Going for a spire. Very interesting. We'll have to see. Yeah, Tang not utilizing the 2 Roach Warrens, so one must have been a mistake. Is he going to go for his 3rd now? Looks like it. But he's got an okay amount of roaches. I don't know if it's going to be enough. That's quite a lot of lings for Scion, so even if Tang does go for a snipe on the 3rd, looks like she's going to try to move some spines down there to help defend it. I don't know. That is quite a lot of roaches. Maybe these lings won't be enough after all. Still doesn't have a Roach Warren to produce any roaches, so it's lings... although some single muta is out right now. No, here we go. Several mutas are out for Scion, and these roaches can't do anything. Looks like they're going to try to run by the 3rd and maybe get into the main or the natural, but they realize they're slow roaches. They can't do anything, so they're going to have to be tied up in melee with these lings while the mutas slowly pick away at them. How is Tang going to respond to the mutas? He's got an infestation pit and a decent amount of spores in his base, so I think he'll be okay from these mutas, but it's going to be hard for him to get this 3rd up if the mutas go right for it. Good amount of mutalists for Scion. Already up to, what is that, 12? Yeah, that's going to be a difficult number for Tang to deal with. I don't see this 3rd staying up for much longer. No Hydralisk Den. Tang just really doubling down on the Spore Crawlers to keep himself alive in his main and natural. Yeah, Scion swooping around now, heading towards Tang's 3rd that has nothing in the way of defense. Take her a little bit of time to get it down, but what's Tang going to do about it? He doesn't have really any units on the map right now. He is getting Pathogen Glands and 6 Infestors, which could be pretty good. If they get some money fungals on this Muta Cloud, that could be all she wrote in terms of mutas for Scion, but it's so hard to land that skill shot. Yeah, she's poking in the natural, poking in the main, but ultimately thrown away by the Spore Crawlers. Tang really made quite a lot. Maybe too many, but it is keeping him alive, so can't judge him too much. Now Scion just kind of swerving around the map, seeing if there's any way she can get in. Oh, Infestors do get a fungal on 2 mutas. Not enough, though. Not quite enough. But very good positioning by Tang. Ready to intercept when the mutas darted in. Hydralisk Den is done for Tang now. Doesn't look like he's making a 5 right now, so he's going to have just a few and no real meat shield for him, but Scion already mining heavily at her 3rd and has some good defense there. Tang not even trying to retake a third at this moment. It looks like he feels like he needs more attacking units than economy. My Scion very far ahead in terms of food at this point, and she's just recreating a Ling Roach army while her mutas patrol around the map, going for upgrades for those roaches, just kind of building up while she contains Tang in his base. But Tang's getting up a pretty decent army that can deal with these mutas. I mean, probably just those Hydralisks on their own might be enough to deal with them. Certainly with the added fungal support from the Infestors, I don't think these mutas are much for Tang to worry about anymore. Why are these drones going? Hello? What is happening here? Did Tang just pull a bunch of drones with his army? Tang, you're not Terran. You can't pull the boys like this. What is happening? I don't know. It's like Tang really feeling the pressure, though. He doesn't want to go for a third. He wants to try to do game-ending damage to Scion right now, and maybe he can if he gets good fungals. A lot of roaches for Scion, though. Tang has no idea about this fourth that she's working on, I don't think. Looks like he's going to try to jockey for position outside of her third. 2 spines and a lot of roaches there for Scion to defend. Let's see how good these fungals are. Pretty good. First fungal. I feel like the drones are really blocking more of Tang's army than they're helping at this point. Yeah, great fungals, though. Really doing solid damage to those roaches. Scion not able to get all of her roaches into the fight thanks to the force fields, or rather the fungals. And yeah, she's definitely going to lose this third base, I feel. Yep, Tang takes it out, and Sion's forced to retreat. Tang really needs to figure out that she's got this fourth over here, though, and go take that one out as well. Let's see if he's able to break up into a natural, though. I think that might be a little too ambitious. He does have a couple of fungals remaining, though, and the mutas have finally come back to the fight, but a sick fungal on all those mutas. I don't know if he has the DPS to really take them all out, but he does get a good number of them down. Infested Terrans coming out from the infestors from Tang. Boy, very scrappy fight here. I don't think he can really break through into Sion's natural, but he is going to force a pretty good trade with our army and get a lot of overlords, maybe? I think he should stand and fight. Yep, looks like he's going to try. I mean, there's no retreating with these hydras, so he may as well. Gets a pretty good trade. Some reinforcements from Tang coming from the south. There's still a handful of hydras that can threaten these mutas, and a couple of infested Terrans, but they're not focusing on the mutas right now, so it looks like the mutas will retake air superiority. All Tang has left are roaches, and many spines are about to pop at Sion's natural for. Boy, what a fight! I think Tang is done, though. He pulled so many drones that I'm not sure really contributed to that fight in any substantial way. So he's super down in terms of workers, and Sion's does still have the secret fourth that Tang didn't ever figure out about to repopulate with drones if she wants. But I feel like she doesn't even really need to do that. She's got a better economy. She can just lean on him. Tang has nothing in the production tab. I don't think he knows what to do. Whether he should bother remaking drones or just keep trying to go for infestors. Looks like that's the route he wants to take. Try to get as much value out of the tiny amount of resources that he has right now. Yeah, I think if this game goes on for much longer, then Tang is just kind of out by default, given how behind he is in economy. He is rebuilding a small amount of drones, but yeah, it seems like a waste. The game will have to go on for too long to see a return on those. And if it goes on for any longer, yep, Sion's already got her secret fourth resaturated, so not looking good for Tang. I'm shocked. It was a pretty good engagement by him. He did a lot with the amount of units he had, but he didn't see that fourth, and I think that may have really been the nail in the coffin. If he had killed that base, then there'd be no base for Sion to resaturate, and she would be mining out on her main and natural just like Tang, which would make his lower drone count less of an issue. She's just remaxing on roaches here, going for 2-2. And Tang has a smaller amount of roaches and a few infestors, which could help, but at the end of the day, even if you have infestors, you need something to engage the army. You can't just hold them all back forever. So it's not looking great for Tang. I feel like the production tab is saying it all here. Sion can go any number of routes, and she's making all kinds of stuff, making her own Hydra Den, re-expanding to her third that Tang killed, and taking position outside Tang's natural with this giant roach army and the small amount of mutas that remain. I think this is it. I don't think any amount of sick fungals is going to keep Tang alive here, but let's have a look. Pretty good fungals, I mean, all things told, but they're not going to be enough to actually kill these roaches, I don't think. And Sion smartly, you know, pulling some back so that they all don't get caught. It does break a hole in the wall, but backing up until Tang's infested Terrans die out, probably the smart move. If she had Burrow, she could use this time to regenerate some health on the roaches, but I don't think she does. So all Tang really has left are these infestors and a tiny amount of hydras. So it's all over but the shouting at this point, it seems. Yeah, I don't see a way for Tang to come back. Scion nearly maxed out. In fact, she is maxed out. Tang at less than 100 supply. Don't see a way that Scion could lose this, even if she tried, really. Tentatively poking ahead with a small group of roaches to bait out some fungals. I don't think there's no energy left for any fungals, so she doesn't need to be that timid, but she has no way of knowing. Just working on this wall. Yeah, I think this game is over. Starting to resort Burrow and Hydraless range, but I don't think it's going to come to that. She could really just A-move her way in and end the game right now, I think. Showing a lot of respect to Tang by being so cautious, though. It's certainly better to be overcautious than to be overconfident and lose all of your stuff, but let's see how this engagement goes. I think all these drones are just blocking more of Tang's army than helping it at this point, but Fungal's doing alright, you know. Certainly doing their job, but doesn't have a good arrangement of his army. He doesn't have the hiders in the back, roaches in the front, so things are getting just chopped up left and right. It looks like Scion is going to break through. Yeah. Nothing Tang can do about that, and he GG's. Wow. Scion takes game 2 as well. She goes up 2-0 versus Tang. Holy moly. Who is this girl? I can't say that I expected this at all. Huh. Well, if I'm in Tang's position, I'm not sure how I'm feeling at this point. He tried some earlier aggression and that didn't work out, and he tried to play a more macro style and ended up getting contained by Scion's mutas, so I'd be shaking in his boots if I was him. Yeah, we'll just have to see if Scion continues his domination. I don't think we're going to see a 4-0. That would really shock me. But we're on that course, so I guess we'll just never know. Looks like Tang is going to pick Roses Never Cry as his map for Game 3. So we're going to throw to a short break while I get that set up, and we'll see you guys in a minute. Stay tuned.
So slowly, time goes by. Time goes by. So slowly, time goes by. So slowly, time goes
VII versus Tang.
Alright, welcome back to Roses Never Cry for Game 3 of the All-Invitational 7 Grand Finals. What a series it's been so far. Let's introduce these players. Spawning in the top right corner of the map, it is the Purple Zerg, up 2-0. Really showing us that she is a force to be reckoned with here. She is.
VII.
And spawning in the bottom left corner of Roses Never Cry, the Teal Zerg, down 2-0. Our El Capitan, do you believe he can come back? I do. He is.
Tang.
Well, this series has been not what I expected. In fact, it's been the exact opposite of what I've expected. I really thought Tang was going to have a much better time than he has, but VII has been dominant so far in games 1 and games 2. So I gotta wonder what Tang is thinking, that, you know, what kind of adjustment he's gonna make to his play to come back here. You know, he's definitely the kind of player who's got enough tricks up his sleeve that he can, you know, spend a couple games in a series reading the opponent and then starting to, you know, adjust his game plan based on what he's seen. But just what those exact adjustments are, I don't have a good sense of. I feel like Sion's really been kind of not necessarily out macroing him, but out strategizing him in terms of builds and plays, and I think that's that's kind of been his downfall. I feel like the late gas that he keeps going for means that he's kind of committing to maybe a mid-game timing, or at least that's what, in his mind, that's what it means. And Scion instead is just going for, I'm going to go for an early gas, but not spend a lot of resources attacking you with it. I'm going to use that to get ahead in the tech department, and then just defend your mid-game timing, and that's going to be the way I win. And Tang's mid-game timings have not been, well, certainly they've been scary, but have not been game-ending to this point. So we'll have to see here. So far, we've got no gas for Scion, and she's going kind of defensive with this spine crawler, whereas Tang is actually getting the earlier gas this time around. So I feel like this is the first time the openings have really gone in Tang's favor in terms of tech. But we'll have to see what he does with the early gas that he gets. You know, if he ends up going for a quick Ling Bane attack, that might not be the way to go, especially given how defensive a posture Scion has been taking in the early games so far. So we'll just have to see, I guess. I'm worried for Tang, and that's not something I say very often. So I'm hoping he shows us something kind of cool. Okay, yeah, like this, like 2 really early gases. What's he gonna do with those? Some kind of early roach thingamajigger? Is that what we do with 2 quick gases? I don't know. Let's see. This drone's gonna do something. It's gonna be a roach warren. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so he's gonna go for a quick roach attack. Now, I don't know why Scion's opener... Oh, wow, she also going for the quick 2 gases, so are we gonna just see Roach Rush versus Roach Rush? I mean, in that kind of a situation, I think I'd have to give the edge to Tang. I feel like he probably has more experience doing that, but I know Scion likes it as well, so... Gosh, has the Roach Warren gone down for Scion yet, or... No, it doesn't seem like she's going for it. She's getting some Evo Chambers to wall off instead. So is this some kind of 2-base Muta play, or she's going for the fast layer, so I guess it must be. Huh. Well, this could be a little awkward then. I mean, obviously Muta's... Oh no, there's the Roach Warren. Sorry, I was just hidden a little bit. Okay, but Tang's is already done, and he's already producing a pretty good number of roaches. I mean, Defender's Advantage is a thing, and it's going to take a while for the slow roaches to get across the map, but... I don't know. I don't know about this. She does only have the 1 spine for defense, but she is getting upgrades, whereas Tang is not, and it may... I don't know, they're a long ways off. If Tang goes now, there's no way those upgrades are getting done before he gets there, but seems like he's waiting. He's waiting for a critical number. Maybe he's waiting for this Ling speed to finish so we can start reinforcing with the Lings. I don't know. Scion going for a 3rd. I feel like the longer Tang waits, the less potent this gets. The more time Scion has to get her Roach army in order and start capitalizing on the fact that she got the faster layers. She's got the Roach speed on the way, whereas Tang has not even started his layers, so... Well, Scion's got to see these Roaches are on the way from Tang, so she knows what's up. Is Tang going to go for the 3rd and try to cancel it, or is he going to go for the throat and head right towards Scion's natural? This is a tricky spot. I mean, Tang certainly has the more potent army on paper. We'll have to see how much the Defender's Advantage is really worth for Scion. Still only 1 spine, which can get targeted down pretty easily, and these Evo Chambers can be targeted down as well before the upgrade's finished, but it looks like Tang is going to cancel that 3rd. And is he going to leave, or is he going to try to get some more work done? I feel like... I don't think that was enough damage, but... Looks like Tang does think that. He's gonna go home. Is he going to get his 3rd set up? Doesn't really look like it. Doesn't look like he's even thinking about it. Instead of getting his own Evo... Oh, there we go. Okay, here comes a drone to put down a 3rd for Tang. So we will take the lead in terms of 3rd build times as his Evos get done and starts researching his own upgrades. But he let the upgrades for Scion finish, and she's starting her +2 attack now while she retakes her 3rd. Ling's coming in for Tang to cancel it again, and looks like they are going to sneak out of there after taking a little bit of damage off the Roach army of Scion. Interesting place for this game to be. Tang still has not thrown down his third. He's got the drone in position, but he forgot to make it. So no one's really clearly in the lead here. Food pretty even. Scion still does have the upgrade lead, though. Ling run by from Tang going into the main of Scion, trying to get a couple drones picked off, but not a lot they can do. Scion does pull her roaches back to clean them out. And no follow-up from Tang to exploit the fact that her army was out of position, so... What a weird place this game is in right now. I mean, Scion, after all this, does get her third up faster than Tang. Tang's still not putting his down, even though his drone is in position. Tang favoring these forward thirds and not the defensive thirds, which is... I guess that's just a stylistic thing. But I wonder how that kind of plays out. Because Scion's going to show up at his third and be like, oh, nothing here. Well, maybe I should just go home and get ready to defend, because if he's not taking a third, he must be doing something weird. But she's smart. She knows what he's up to. She knows his style, checks the other third, sees the drone, just picks it off real easily. Yeah, I mean, I gotta put this one in Scion's court again. Tang just off his game today, I feel like. This isn't the kind of play I'd expect to see from him. And technically, he is ahead in the supply count. You know, his better mechanics showing through in that regard. But strategically, just not making the plays I think that he needs to be making to get ahead. You know, obviously, out macroing your opponent is a decent enough strategy, but it can, you know, you need the economy to actually do that with, and if your opponent has better economy than you, then even if they don't have as good mechanics, they can still keep up with your macro. So we'll have to see if Tang is able to push back here. He is moving across the map with his big old roach army. It is down in upgrades. She's got the +2 and about to get the +2 armor over him. But maybe he can get a cancel on her third and then get out of there without taking too much damage. Looks like they're just going to fight straight up here. I think Tang does have the superior roach numbers, so we'll just have to see if the upgrades for VII are enough to see her through here. And that defender's advantage is going to allow her to get the reinforcing roaches to the fight faster. But I don't know that it's going to be enough. Some of Tang's roaches not getting into the fight. He steps forward so they can all start firing. Scion tries to pull a spine crawler into the fight from her natural. Looks like she is going to push Tang away. I don't know. I feel like he could have saved there a little longer, but that +2/+2 versus the +1/+1 is, I guess, pretty dang good. So she keeps her third. He's not able to target it down before he has to retreat. Finally gets his own third up and, well, building. It's not up and running yet. Kind of feels like maybe a little too late though. VII's had a decent amount of time to have a small number of drones gathering at her third base. Yeah, it looks like Scion is going to go for baneling speed, perhaps anticipating a Hydra switch from Tang, which again is not happening. Seems like the only time Tang really goes for that is if he's fearful of the mutas. Otherwise, he seems to like to stick with the roaches, which, you know, that makes sense. Taking up a position at the bottom of VII's ramp outside her third. VII coming down pretty brazenly to try and meet the army. And yeah, I think she should just stay up at the top of the ramp and try to take a good position. Tang trying to swing around to the natural, but VII cuts him off at the pass. Looks like we got another heads-up fight here. Upgrades are not as in her favor as they were previously. +2 weapons for Tang already done, +2 armor about to finish, but not sure it'll finish before the fight is done. A little bit of mixed timing. Looks like it's going to kick in right about... no, I don't think it'll be done before the fight's over. He's forced to retreat, and just now +2 armor finishes. But I think if he turned around and fought what remains of VII's army, he'd have an okay time with it. But looks like he's really dead set on trying to take down this third. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's happening. Well, Tang finally does have his third up, but not much in the way of saturation on it, whereas VII is getting close to full mineral saturation. Man, the slowness of Tang's third is really hampering his ability to lean on his macro mechanics. I mean, I'd go so far to say Scion is out macroing him in this department. She's got, you know, more bases, more income. Going for a macro hatch even now. Let's see, Tang is going to go for an infestation pit. Looks like maybe he wants to either work towards 3-3, or maybe he's going to add in more infestors. Oh wow, big burst of drones from Tang onto his third, so now he's got full saturation there. And in fact has equaled the drone count with VII, so that's kind of the Tang macro that I know and love, is that you look away from a base 1 minute and then come back and it's full of drones, and you're like, how the heck did that happen? But yeah, he's got full mineral and soon to be full gas saturation there, so if he's going to go for some more tech-heavy units like infestors, he'll have the gas to support that, whereas VII hasn't started the gas at her third at all. But if she's going to stick to roaches, maybe she doesn't need it. She have kind of a bank right now, almost hitting, well, not quite hitting 1,000 minerals, but fairly nearly there for a minute. Looks like she's going to reload on the Lings while she goes for this attack, so the Lings can get there quickly and reinforce. Tang is getting 6 infestors again. They're about to pop right as Sion's army arrives. I assume he got pathogen glands. Oh, it doesn't look like he did. These infestors are spawning with not enough energy to fungal growth. A little bit of an oversight there. Is he even... No, not researching it, so it looks like he's going to have to hope that the attack is delayed a little bit so he has time to save up energy. Sion morphing all of her Lings into Banes. Look like she's either expecting there to be Hydras there or just plans on trying to bust a hole through Tang's Roach wall to get to the infestors. I don't know if that's going to work, though. Roach is pretty hardy when it comes to tanking Baneley shots, but I guess it's probably more damage than the Lings would be able to get off. Although I feel like the Lings do a good job of kind of tying the Roaches up, and, you know, they don't tank a lot of shots, but when you have a lot of Lings... Oh boy, here come Banelings blowing up on the first wave of Roaches from Tang. Do a good amount of damage, and I think Sion clearly has the Roach advantage here, but lots of good fungal growths hitting her entire army. Tang has a bad position on this fight, though. He's getting surrounded from all sides. Infestors are out of energy. Without the pathogen glands, they only had 1 fungal each saved up. He's just lost everything. All he has are his infestors left, and those are getting picked off now. And God, I think Tang is dead. Holy crap! 34 roaches in the direction tab for Tang. He's gonna try to muster up a defense here, but he's lost his 4th. He does have a 3rd on the way, but Sion's 4th is already finished. So even if he does keep that base alive, Sion will still be ahead of base. And Tang is mustering a pretty decent defense, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They do have even upgrades, but yeah, Tang realizes he's outmatched, outgunned here, and GG's out. Holy crap, Sion is up 3-0. My God, she's 1 game away from winning the All-Invitational 7 Grand Finals. Tang has yet to win a single game in this series. That's nuts. That's insane. I would never have predicted that. And yeah, we're getting to the point where it's way beyond where you could just write it off as, oh, ZVZ so volatile. I mean, she has handily bested him 3 games in a row. So, jeez, I'm shocked. I think a lot of people would have pegged Tang to be a clear winner here, and we're seeing the exact opposite. VII really showing some great play, and I think it may even be more that Tang is just making the wrong calls. You know, really late on his 3rd base in that game. He keeps going for these mid-game timings that VII seems to have a pretty good sense of how to handle, and she's just able to defend, pull back, keep her hatch or whatever alive, push him back, and then kind of retake it and keep a macro lead. I think Sion's got Tang's number. That's wow. I said earlier this wouldn't be a 4-0, but right now we're 1 game away from it being a 4-0. So, jeez. Well, looks like Tang has chosen Ganymede, I believe, for his 4th map. So, hopefully he'll be able to turn around on this, because if not, he is out. So it's all or nothing at this point. So yeah, we'll throw to a quick break while I get Ganymede set up, and we'll be right back for possibly the final game in the All-Invitational 7 Grand Finals. Stay tuned.
Let's take
Free dance. Oh, free dance one. Reminds me that
let's take
I still have.
there.
Bring myself, take you far. I float away from the sunset. When you rest night, you rock me. My girl's return to the front from home. Free dance. Oh, free dance one. Reminds me that I still have. I will.
VII versus Tang.
Alright folks, welcome back to the potentially final game of the All-Invitational 7 Grand Finals. We are on KTV Ganymede. Spawning in the bottom right corner, we have the Purples are one game away from sweeping the opposing player out of this series entirely. When we thought she might be the underdog, what a showing. Can she close it out here? She is.
VII.
And spawning at the top left corner, we have the Teal Zerg, the man who we all thought was a shoo-in to win this tournament, but is now one game away from elimination. Do all kings must die, or is he just giving her a few games to boost her confidence? He better show us here that he can take a game. He is.
Tang.
Alright, well here we are on Ganymede. This is the 11th hour for Tang. He has got to put up or shut up right now. Whatever the nastiest trick he has in his bag, he better bust it out, because he is one game away from going home in second. And that would be just crazy. Tang has won every All-Invitational he's participated in. He's defeated Lando in the finals. He's defeated Quang/Name in the finals. and he's looked pretty good every time he's done it. You know, they usually haven't been close series, so he will have to win 4 back-to-back games in order to secure his throne once again. And I'm starting to think he may not be up to the task. I mean, Sion's been looking on point in this entire series. All 3 games so far, she's been one step ahead of him. Or at least making less mistakes than him, which is, I mean, I guess you could just argue and say that's what StarCraft is. Whoever makes the less mistakes wins. But, yeah, you wouldn't expect a player the caliber of Tang to be making more mistakes than his opponent. But yeah, Wai-Sun really showing us some great games tonight. I'm super impressed by her play. And I think Tang may have misunderestimated her. So we'll have to see if he's finally got the message that he needs to really bring his A game. Let's have a look at these openers here. Looks like Sion's gone for the pool hatchery gas, and looks like Tang has done basically the same thing. Looks like he mined 100 gas, pulled off to get Ling speed, and is now moving those drones down to his natural to start mining. Both are researching speed. Tang is quite a bit ahead, though, in his speed, and he's making an okay number of lings, so it looks like he's going to go for some early pressure. Sion sticking to this early spine crawler. I don't know if this is part of her standard ZVZ build or something she just added because she knows Tang's reputation for early aggression. Either way, it's been serving her really well. It seems to have stymied a lot of what Tang's wanted to do with, you know, small groups of early lings. So good on her for that, and, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep at it until it stops working, that's what I say. But a good number of links from Tang coming through now. I don't know if this one spine is going to be enough. She has smartly put her Baneling nest next to it to kind of block off the amount of surface area on it, and started a second one, but lings are already here. They're not going to be able to bust up past the queens very easily, so they're going to have to work on this spine, and drones are being pulled now to help tie them up in melee. Now Sion starts another spine, but the second one still isn't finished yet. This is not looking good for Sion. Tang, I think, may have done it. She's trying to morph some Banes behind her queen wall. Will they finish before the lings break through, though? I don't know. She'll have to get good hits, even if they do. Oh, that's a good hit. Okay, so she does manage to get an okay number of lings with this first Baneling. Not such a great hit with that one, though. Tang's still got a good number of lings left, and she's going to cancel her third Bane. Now she's got nothing really left to defend. You know, a decent number of lings, and these drones will probably help fend them all off, but she's taking a lot of damage from this early ling count. Let's see how many workers. Well, only lost 4, and technically she is still ahead of Tang in terms of the worker count, but she doesn't have the queens to be making larvae, which is really what matters here. As in ZVZ, you're often not limited by resources, you're limited by the amount of stuff you can make, which is dictated by your larvae. So when you lose queens, it's a lot more debilitating than it might seem at first glance. Yeah, she's just, you know, at this point, she probably wouldn't be able to keep up with Tang's production if he kept up with his injects, but it looks like he might be kind of leveling off here in terms of the reinforcements he's sending to the attack, but I really don't think he should level off. As long as he's got the queens and she doesn't, he can outproduce her. She will keep having to try to make miraculous trades with small groups of Banelings, and she's not even able to get those up. Tang's smartly targeting them down. All she has left now are these drones, and Tang's got an okay number of lings in here working on them. It looks like the lings do all get cleaned up, but now Tang has snuck into the worker lead. 7 workers killed by Tang, and that's all Sion has left are drones. She's trying to put a few back into gas in case she needs to make some more Banelings, and that's what she's doing. But Tang has called off the aggression and is going into full macro mode now. So this game going much more like what you would expect out of a Tang ZVZ. You know, it's really potent early aggression, and even with the early spines that Sion went for, it just wasn't enough to stave off all the lings. She even got an okay Baneling trade or two, but it wasn't enough to push him back, and he just stormed right through and really disrupted her whole game plan. I don't see a point in this game where Sion ever gets ahead again. Maybe if she stays on 2 bases for a while and works up towards mid-game aggression, she might be able to catch Tang off foot, or off balance rather, while he's kind of mid-expansion or something like that. But, you know, as we've seen earlier in this series, Tang is not the kind of guy to go for a fast third base or anything like that. So yeah, Tang in the lead in terms of workers, in terms of food, in terms of everything. Now it's kind of up to Scion to see what she can do to get an edge back. She is going for a fast lair. Tang hasn't started his yet. He does have a roach warren though. A couple of spines to keep him safe if Scion tries to counter with some lings. And she does have a small group of lings kind of posted up outside of Tang's base. Doesn't look too eager to do anything with them though. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can catch any sight of, you know, a plan from Scion to get back in the game here. But nothing unorthodox out of her right now. Tang making a good number of roaches. I feel like if he attacked with these roaches right now, the game would be done. Maybe when this lair finishes, she'll go for a spire. Maybe a spire or something. Here's a drone trying to do something. Yeah, that's a spire. Okay, so this is one way back in the game. If Tang takes too long to go with this roach attack, but he's going right now, so there's no way that spire finishes in time. Sion's got to find a way to tie up these roaches and keep Tang at home, but she doesn't have any lings to like do a counterattack to pull him back or anything like that, so she's really just got to hunker down with a massive amount of spines and hope she can weather the storm. I mean, that's a good amount of spines, and these are slow roaches, so they'll take a while to get there. But I don't know about this. I mean, looks like a couple of them will be done. I feel like this is going to be a situation where a lot of them start finishing morphing mid-battle. But Tang's here. 3 spine crawlers are done. 4th one about to finish. Small group of lings and banes. Oh boy, yeah, Tang putting on the muscle. Looks like he's trying to just break through and run right past them all. That's probably smart. Why fight on the spines when we can walk right past him? His ling's getting tied up on the spines. They should just go for the main. Target down the spire, target down the pool, target down the hatch. You know, you can have all these spine crawlers you want, but if they're not, you know, defending your tech, then, you know, what good are they really? Looks like Sion's about to get 3 mutas out before the spire goes down. Not enough to really be significant, I feel. And her main hatchery goes down. Her spawning pool is under attack now. Seems like Tang has probably done it here. Mutas do pop, and they'll slowly work away on the roaches, but what can she really expect to get done with them? Tang trying to headbutt his way out of the base, but it's not really working. But you know what? Does it really matter? I think he's so far ahead at this point that losing his whole army isn't the worst thing that could happen. He has going a little overboard on the spores maybe. He's made more than 1 spore per muta on the map. But at least this way he can be sure it won't be an issue. Scion double expanding after losing her main hatch, so retaking her main and going for the 3rd base. But that's all she has. She has no attacking units besides these 3 mutalisks on the map, and Tang already has infestors popping out as we speak and going for a hydraless den. So, really showing too much respect for these 3 mutalisks, but I guess he doesn't really know how many mutas she was able to get out before the spire went down. But I think he's definitely got enough to deal with them this time, of course. Small group of lings from Scion moving across the map to support her 3 mutas, but it's just not enough, I feel. I mean, I guess Tang is a little light in the combat units department. Only has the infestors out. Roaches popping now with hydras. Okay, so we should be all right now. As long as she doesn't morph those into banes, I don't think there's any real chance of them doing any real damage. Yeah, what can you do with 3 mutas is the $1,000,000 question here. Kinda just poke around and look for overlords to snipe, I guess, but she's not really doing that. And there aren't too many overlords from Tang on the map to snipe even. Tang has spotted her double expansion. So yeah, I think if he was smart, he should just go put an end to that right now. There's no way she has enough to defend it, and she doesn't. She still just has the Great Wall of Spines. She spent all this time trying to rebuild her drone count, which still isn't up to where Tang is at. So when Tang's attack gets to her 3rd, I don't see any way she can possibly contest it. Mostly focusing on Lings. Looks like she might go for a Ling counterattack while his army is attacking her third. And, you know, that's really all she can hope to do at this point. But Tang does have a wall of queens blocking the ramp into the main, so there's not a whole lot she can be able to get done. She morphing into... Yep, she is morphing banelings right now, so maybe she can bust through. But there is an infestor at the top of that ramp, so a good fungal will stop that dead in its tracks. Tang does cancel her third, and then looks like he's going to move back home. Here comes Scion's attack. Yep, Bane's blowing up on spines and hydras, and they're getting okay damage, but not enough to bust through. Scion does lose everything, and all Tang loses is some attacking units and some larvae. Yeah, boy, just I think one look at the food tells us everything we need to know. Tang's up at 130, and Scion's still down sub 50, so she's got a lot of resources banked up. But what is she going to do with those? Looks like she's like, well, I can't make mutas because he's got hydras and infestors, but might be able to squeeze out some ultras and catch him off guard. And you know what? That's an alright idea. I support that. Throwing down an ultraless cavern now, so we'll have to see, you know, what is that? Maybe 3 or 4 ultras worth of resources she can get out. I can't see those making any difference alone. Ultras need support. But if she can get like a big Ultra Ling army, then maybe that can start to do something. But I feel like the infestors from Tang are going to render moot all of the Lings, and then the Roach Hydra can just kind of kite the Ultras a bit. But we may not even get to that point, because Tang's here at her natural, pooping out some infested Terrans to tank some spine crawler shots and just kind of pushing in. There is a lot of spines, but with nothing to support those spines, they go down pretty quick. 3 ultras in the mail for Scion, so she's trying to hold out until then, but even if she does, I just don't see it doing a lot of damage. Her own infestors start coming out and getting some good fungals on Tang's army, but nothing is there to support and deal the finishing blows. She just lost all of her infestors. Ultralisk still not quite done. She's going to lose her hive before they're out. And yeah, boy, Scion's just losing everything here. Down to 15, 10... sub 10, down to single-digit workers. Ultralisk just now popping out. Maybe they can do some damage, but there's no way they can end the game on their own. So, GG from Scion. Tang! He's waking up. He's bringing it back. Finally takes a game from Scion. We got a real series. No need to worry. I promised you there wouldn't be a 4-0. And I don't lie about that kind of stuff. So, well played from Tang. I think what we saw there was him going back to kind of more what he's known for, right? Some real potent early aggression that's just increasingly difficult to defend unless you know exactly what you're dealing with. And maybe Scion got a little bit too overconfident with her, oh, I'll just make a spine crawler and that'll make me safe from everything kind of defense. Maybe that was, you know, kind of her underestimating what Tang can pull off in the early game. But in either case, well played by Tang. Glad to see him showing signs of life. Not going to go out like no punk. So, well played. And that brings us to the 5th game. Scion is up 3 to Tang's 1. So Scion, for the first time in the series, is going to pick a map. And it looks like she wants to pick the pattern, which you all know and love. So I'm going to throw to a short break while I get the pattern set up, and we'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned, guys.
I can't stop.
VII versus Tang.
Welcome back to the All-Invitational 7. We are on the pattern for Game 5 in this best-of-7 series between Tang and VII in the Grand Finals, spawning in the top left corner of the map. The purple Zerg, up 3 games, just needs one more to close it out and take the championship. Can she do it? She is.
VII.
And spawning in the bottom right corner, the teal Zerg, our glorious leader, starting to show that he's not going to go out, not going to let Sion stomp all over him. Is this the start of an epic comeback? We'll see. He is.
Tang.
Alright, here we are on the pattern. We saw a lot of this map throughout the tournament. Seemed like Protosses were a huge fan of this map, and Zergs were not. Got a lot of high ground, low ground action throughout the entire map. Really, the only part that's not is this kind of open area in the middle with the Zelnaga Tower, and you really don't ever see fights happen in here. It's always coming around the back alleyways of the map, so I don't know if it's going to be too significant in ZVZ. Definitely you'll have to be careful if you're moving around a roach army that you don't try to bum rush up a ramp and end up getting caught in a big concave. So I'll be interested to see how much that really plays into this matchup. Don't expect it to a lot, but you never know, I suppose. So let's have a look at the openers here. Looks like Tang going for an extractor trick. Sticking with his pool before hatchery. I mean, hey, he went for a big Ling swell last game, and it did a lot of work for him, so I wouldn't be mad at him for going for it again. But if his plan is to do that 4 games in a row, I don't think that's going to work. Like, I think Sion is going to get wise to it eventually. So hopefully that's, you know, he's got something else up his sleeve besides that. But in the short term, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But on the other hand, this is his last life. You know, he can't be risking his tournament life on a build that he's already shown to his opponent, right? Because at that point, you're just hoping that your opponent doesn't, you know, isn't able to make the adjustments necessary to their play in order to deal with it. So I think that would be a bit risky. But it looks like Tang has gotten into Sion's main with a small amount of Lings. Oh, doesn't quite get a drone kill though. Whisses out at the last minute, but you know, that's always a scary moment. Looks like he was thinking more about macroing back home rather than macroing the Lings, but he got a good scout off. Knows what he's up against. An Evo chamber from Sion. What the heck? Are we gonna go for like a +1 armor so that her Lings don't get killed by Banelings in one shot, or what's all that about, you think? Huh. Interesting build. I mean, she still does have a nice lead. She can afford to experiment with some unconventional builds if she wants to. So I don't mind that too much. But yeah, I'd be more worried about not dying to Tang's early aggression again, but he doesn't seem like he's going to go for that, so she seems to have skipped the fast spine, maybe realizing that, well, if it doesn't actually keep me safe from his early aggression, what's the dang point? So I can kind of respect that. And yeah, certainly it's working out for her this game since he's not going for that. He is going for a Roach Warren once again, while Ling Speed is on the way. And I don't think Sion has started Ling Speed at all. Nope, she probably put that first under gas into the +1 Carapace for the Lings, so I guess expecting Ling Bane aggression out of Tang, but he's already got that Roach Warren coming down, so I don't think that's what we'll be seeing. Sion trying to move in with 2 Lings to get a scout off, but stops just short at the bottom of the ramp. Not much to see. Tang gonna move his spine forward to get a little better coverage. Sion going for a fast third and a fast lair. who needs units when you can just get all the tech and all the expansions you want? Focusing mostly on Lings. Upgraded Lings are pretty good, actually, so I'm not too mad at her for that. Tangs does have a bunch of roaches popping out right now. No lair yet, so they're going to be slow roaches for quite some time. So upgraded Lings versus slow roaches can do a decent amount. Speed, or Ling speed is about to be done for Tang, but he doesn't really have any Lings on the map. So not going to do much for him, except possibly reinforce an attack off these roaches. +1 Carapace is about to finish for Scion, so these Zerglings are going to take an extra roach hit before they die. So we'll have to see. That's a lot of Lings, though. Like, quite a lot of Lings. I don't know how they're going to stack up versus Tang's roach army. This could be a scary situation. He does have a spine and a queen up front. Hopefully he doesn't go too far off creep. Oh boy. Okay, well the Overlord sees the Lings, but Tang isn't reacting. Oh no, Lings go right into the base. Tang's trying to pull back, but he's got slow roaches off creep, and it's going to take forever for them to get there. Tang trying to pull his workers away, but Ling's focusing on Tang's main hatchery. Are they going to get it before he gets home? I think they are. There's no way that all these Lings are going to get taken out. So I think it's forfeit. Yep, it goes down. What's he going to do? I mean, I guess he has to go for a counterattack. I think Scion is probably going to lose a good amount of these Zerglings, but the damage is done. Oh, maybe she could have focused on the natural. It was a little bit weak. But Tang's on his way with an okay amount of roaches, and she's not going to be able to rebuild the amount of Lings she needs to defend it in time, I don't think. Tang not rebuilding his main hatchery, focused solely on this attack. Who cares about that third hatch? We need to just get in there and do the damage. 3 spines for Scion at the natural, though. Are these roaches going to be able to take them out? Ling's tying them up in melee. I don't know. That's not enough roaches. A couple lagging behind. They're going to come in and reinforce. Scion letting him get a little close to her spines. 1 does go down, 2 remaining, and a small amount of Lings. I don't know. I don't think these Lings can challenge these roaches, and Lings of Tang's coming in from behind to reinforce the attack. I think this is it. I think Zoe just lost too much of her Zergling army, focusing down that hatchery, and provoked Tang into being into this all-in state, but she didn't have enough to defend when he came for her, and that's too bad, because now she's going to lose her own hatches, and probably a decent number of workers too. All she can do is make Lings. She has no other tech besides the Zerglings, so what can she hope to make? And the answer is nothing. She GG's. Wow. Tang takes his second game. Series gets closer and closer. So, nice work from both players, really. I think that was a really cool build from Zoe. She had a really great idea of going for a large amount of heavily upgraded Lings versus Tang's tiny roach count. But I think she would have been better off engaging his roach army rather than running by it. You know, definitely taking out his hatchery was devastating, but when you lose, you know, a significant portion of your army doing economic damage to a player, and you haven't really touched their army at all, then you have nothing to defend that army. So, you know, good idea from her. But yeah, I'd be interested to see how that game would have went if she would have fought his roaches instead of run into the main to try and take out the hatch. But yeah, really cool to see that build, and Tang did a good job keeping his head on and responding appropriately. Alright, well, the series gets ever closer, so we are on game 6 now, and Scion gets her second map pick. We're running out of maps. All we've got left are Flagship Damocles and Noah's Ark, and nobody wants to play on Noah's Ark, so Scion does in fact pick Flagship Damocles for the 6th map. So we'll throw it a break while I get that set up, and we'll be right back for possibly the final map of the All-Invitational 7 Grand Finals. Stay tuned.
Why, Scion versus Tang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the All-Invitational 7. I am Harlock, and here we are on Flagship Damocles. Spawning in the top left corner of Flagship Damocles, we have the Purple Zerg, still one game away from taking it all. Can she seal a deal here? She is.
Why, Scion!
And spawning in the bottom right corner, the Teal Zerg, starting to mount his comeback, taking 2 games in a row. He needs 2 more if he's going to reclaim his throne. Can he do it? He is.
Tang.
Alright, Flagship Damocles. I think it's pretty telling that it was the penultimate map. I mean, obviously Noah's Ark is a map that most people are not too happy to play on, so that one was going to be the last one either way. But yeah, I think Damocles being the second to last kind of shows that it's also on the not popular end of things, which is too bad, I think, because I think it's a pretty good map, actually. You know, it's got these 3 kind of attack paths. You've got kind of down on the low ground, you've got kind of around the top past the watchtower, and then you've got the rocked off path through the middle that is a little later on in the game being used. I've kind of talked before about how one of its more interesting features being that the choke outside the natural being so far away from the hatchery, or from, you know, the town hall, and I think that comes into play a lot for Protoss players, and that they can't use their Nexus's photon overcharge necessarily to always defend stuff that's going on out here. And same with Zergs, it's going to take a while for the creep to get out to here to put up a wall. So I feel like this game, or this map, probably is going to favor early aggression more than other maps might, which, you know, you might think puts it in Tang's court. So we might be going to the last game here, just based off this map. And if we had a Game 7 on Noah's Ark, then holy cow, it's anybody's game at that point. Yeah, but Tang's got to win this game in order to get to that point. So we'll have to see what he's up to. Having a look at the openers here, looks like Tang is staying off gas here, going for the hatch pool, and Scion's got the gas, whereas Tang does not. So probably no early aggression from Tang then, given that he is lacking in the gas department. So Scion's going to have the gas for a little bit, and she's already starting link speed before Tang has even got his gas. So there's going to be a pretty good window where she's got link speed and he doesn't. And I'm wondering if that's going to be a problem. Maybe she's going to be the one going for early aggression. If she goes for a really nice link bane attack, and it looks like that's exactly what's on the menu. So Tang is going to have to figure out how the heck he's going to defend his base from this. It's certainly not going to be via wall off, because like we talked about earlier, it's just too hard to get the creep out here to wall it off early enough. So it's going to have to be based on off spine placement and off, you know, Queen's plugging the ramp and that kind of stuff. Tang doesn't really have any idea what's going on here, I don't think. Hasn't been able to get Lings over there to get any vision, and his overlords are pretty far out. So this Baneling Nest at the front is not going to be scouted. Tang's finally starting to get gas here in a second, but the Baneling Nest is already finished for Scion, so yeah, no real hope of being able to get, you know, Banelings out anytime soon if Scion goes right now. She doesn't have any Lings yet, none in the production tab, just 1 or 2 Banelings for defense it looks like she's getting, so maybe not any Ling Bane aggression, just trying to be very cautious. You know, I can respect that against a player like Tang. Tang going for several spines and trying to get something resembling a wall, but obviously not really going to get much done in terms of stemming the tide of a Ling flood, but that's not on the way, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Tang going for a very fast layer. Haven't seen him do that too much, so we'll see where he goes from there. Scion going for a Roach Warren, to capitalize on all that gas he's been getting, in an Evo chamber. and a lair as well. So maybe we'll be seeing, and a third. My gosh, you're just getting a little bit of everything. Tang also throwing down his Roach Warren and starting +1 armor, +1 attack for ranged. So it looks like we're going to be seeing Roach Wars here. And this is something we've seen from Sion pretty consistently throughout this series, is she's always been getting that third a little bit faster than Tang, and in some cases a lot of it faster than Tang. And I feel like that's a way she's been consistently getting ahead of him. It does put her in a position where she needs to be able to come up with a defense for Tang's 2-base mid-game aggression, but she's been doing a great job of that, so I see no reason for her to be afraid of going for a faster third. Looks like Tang is going for an okay-ishly fast third as well, much earlier than he has been getting in the past, but that just means he's kind of behind Sion in everything he's doing, so I'm not sure that I really like that. If you're going to delay your third so long, then may as well get an attack out before you grab it, rather than just take too long. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it all plays out. Sion going for kind of a run by towards the third along the long path of the map outside of range of the watchtower, I believe. But now she's going to go in and maybe take a scout on it. Nope, she's going to run past it, run through the line of sight blockers. Oh, and maybe nope, she's going to go right for that third. Kind of a weird path towards the third, but she found her way there eventually. This queen is done for, and these roaches are just too slow to do anything. I don't even think turning back is worth it at this point. You're not going to be able to stop it from being canceled. And yeah, let's see if... Oh, so those slippery lings not quite getting sandwiched by the roaches. So Tang loses his third. That's a pretty big setback. Sion's is up and running and got some dronage on it. So now Tang has to figure out what he's going to do. Roach speed finishing for both players right now. Tang's got +1/+1. Sion's only got +1 weapon, so Tang does have an upgrade lead right now. So we should probably think about flexing his upgrade muscle in that department. Looks like he's thinking about rebuilding his third, or just drones mining long distance at the third, I guess. He doesn't have enough minerals right now. He just sunk all of his bank into 11 roaches, so it looks like he's not too worried. He's just thinking about gearing up for a big attack. Sion's staying active with these lings in the far corners of the map, getting ready to do a run by when she spots his roaches moving out. Looks like they're going to take the long path and not bother breaking down the rocks in the middle and just go past the watchtower. Yeah, I don't know. Might be a good idea to start thinking about opening up these attack paths for reinforcements, but Tang's on the move, but Sion's got a pretty good roach ball of her own here. Still not quite having +1 armor done, so Tang still does have the upgrade lead. For the next little bit here, looks like about 60 more seconds before +1 armor is done for Sion, but she has also started +2, whereas Tang is not, so if Tang waits too long, then he's going to fall behind. Getting very bold is Tang, stepping forward onto Sion's roach army here. Sion's got queens backing her roaches up. They can throw some transfuses on there. I don't think Tang's going to be able to break through, even with the upgrade advantage, and yeah, Tang has to run back home. And he hasn't even started his third yet. So Sion really ahead in almost every dimension, including supply, including workers. It's looking bad for Tang. He's going for another round of attack with the roaches. This one looking a little better. Queen's not present, very low on energy anyway. Getting an okay amount of damage done on some workers, which somehow got pulled out. I guess they got pulled from the natural. But yeah, still kind of a stalemate. No one's able to really break the other one. Yeah. Oh, Tang does have a third finish. Sorry. It's another forward third from Tang. I guess I should have expected that. Now he's thinking about breaking down these middle rocks, seeing if he can open up a quicker path through the middle. Sion's got some overlords there, though, and has eyes on it, so she'll know when she's being threatened in that direction. Just kind of keeping her army mobile, moving between the natural and the third. Yeah, don't have to really worry about a lot of ling run-bys from Tang, it seems like. That's not a style he likes to employ very often, so kind of maybe a weakness in his play, I'd even go so far as to say, but he's the Grandmaster, and I'm just a lowly scrub, so who am I to judge? But it seems like that would be a good way to create some opportunity for your roaches if you had a small pack of lings pulling the enemy roach army in one direction or the other. But yeah, looks like Sion's just trying to set up for a good concave. Tang's trying to pick a fight, but a little hesitant. Got another fight here. It looks like Cyan's got the bigger Roach army, and she does have the upgrade advantage now. Tang's +2 weapons just being started. Hers already completed, and her +2 armor is about halfway done. So at this point, I think Tang needs to get the hell out of there. But the reinforcements have joined up. He's boldly stepping forward. I don't know if this is a good engagement for him. Looks like his unit's melting away, whereas hers are staying strong. Yeah, that +2 weapon is a pretty crucial upgrade. But it looks like, yeah, Tang's still not even close to having it, so really taking a beating there. Down 50 supply is Tang. And Cyan's got a decent Roach Ball that's still alive and able to get to his forward third base a lot quicker than she would be if he took the normal third. So this is kind of the disadvantage of taking that forward third, is that you don't have enough time to run back. They can just get right up on your stuff. So that's kind of a liability for Tang here. Pulling his drones and trying to work his defender's advantage to get some reinforcements into the fight, but he opened that middle pathway with the rocks, which means Cyan can get there pretty quick too. Spine's trying to move forward, but they're getting picked off before they can even go down. And Tang GG's! And Cyan is your All-Invitational 7 champion. Oh my god, congratulations, Cyan. That is, I gotta say, that is supremely unexpected. I would never have thought in a million years that Tang wasn't going to win this series or win the whole tournament. So this is a momentous occasion in the history of the All-Invitational. The first time Tang has entered the tournament and not won. So truly, congratulations to Cyan. This was a really well-played series by her. It was really fun to cast, and we saw some super high-level play. So I'm so stoked that it turned out this way. And of course, you know, Tang put up a pretty good fight. I think he had a few missteps there, a few kind of holes in his style that I feel like Cyan either did really good research ahead of time or was just maybe used to seeing this sort of style and had adapted already. But in either case, congrats to both players for making it so far. And yeah, well played, Cyan. I'm totally impressed. Truly. Well, by the results of this tournament, our best Zerg player. So, if you're a Zerg, then you should definitely hit up Cyan and see if you can learn from her. I know she definitely has some things to teach me. So yeah, here we are, finally at the end of the All-Invitational 7. It's been a lot longer than I thought it would take. When did we start this dang thing? In June or July? We thought it was going to take 2 months. Here we are, nearly in November. So. Shame on me for not having a good idea of how the scheduling was going to work out, but we saw it through and we made it. And I just want to say a couple things. I just want to say, thank you to everybody who participated. You guys know who you are. But yeah, everybody who showed up, played their games, had a good time. You know, you guys are why I put this whole thing together. I wanted to give you all a way to have fun, a way to show off your skills, and without you, this would not have happened, quite literally. So super special thanks to everybody who participated, and also special thanks to all of the casters who helped me out at various points during the tournament. Who do we have? We got Boo, we got Manipulation, Lando, Casey, Icarus. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. Jester. A whole bunch of people helped cast here and there, and they all did great jobs. And definitely their casts were much better than my solo casts, which started to crop up towards the end of things. And so super special thanks to them as well. And yeah, I guess that's it for the All-Invitational 7. I said at the start of the stream that this was a special night for a couple of reasons. And obviously with this series, that was pretty special. But it's special for another reason as well. I told myself I wasn't going to get emotional, but I might get emotional anyway, so bear with me. But yeah, effective immediately, I will be resigning from All Inspiration. This was kind of my last hurrah, my last gift to the team before I departed. And yeah, I will be leaving. I'll be throwing up a blog post on the site pretty soon here to kind of go into a little more details about the reasons why and all that if you really care. But I think at this point, most of the people on the team are less interested in me than have been in the past. You know, I haven't been super active either in game or with the team within the last couple months. And I don't want to just be another in the long line of all-in managers who have vanished off the face of the earth and, let things drag on too long. So better to end things now while they're still pretty good than not. So I just want to say before I go, thanks to everybody who has been an all-inspiration in the 2.5, 3 years that I've been on it. God, it's been way too long. But yeah, thanks to everybody who's been a part of the team. It's definitely been, the last couple of years, I feel like I've done a lot of good work, and I've met a lot of cool people, and, when I joined All In back in 2012, I had no idea, what kind of thing this was going to turn into. It was just a tiny ragtag group of folks, all united with their admiration of Tang, and when I kind of came into a position of power, all I wanted to do was grow the team and make a cool place for people who were super excited about StarCraft to talk about it and meet like-minded folks. So, pursuing that dream has been fun and rewarding, and at times extremely frustrating and, just challenging in all kinds of ways. Definitely have made my fair share of mistakes, but hopefully in the history of All In, they will look back on my tenure as one that was generally positive for the team, but I guess time will tell on that front. But yeah, it's I think I am no longer the person who's most equipped to be in charge of things around here, so I will be handing over the reins to the remaining managers. My sense is that Jester and Aquila plan on staying on for the foreseeable future, so they're going to work with Tang, probably get some more managers in. We lost a few for various reasons this year, including me, so they will definitely need some more help. So if you're interested in helping out, you should definitely hit up one of those three and throw your hat in the ring and let them know that you'd like to get more involved, because I think they could definitely use the help. Yeah, as for me, like I said, I'll be throwing up a blog pretty soon to kind of talk about more stuff from my end, but this isn't the end of Harlock's StarCraft career. I will be taking a bit more of an official break until Legacy of the Void comes out. Got a couple of other projects in the pipeline that are taking up most of my attention that are non-StarCraft related. But I will be back to StarCraft when Legacy of the Void is out. I swear. Too much passion for this game, and this game is too amazing. I couldn't leave it even if I wanted to, so fear not. But yeah, in the meantime, I've got some other stuff I'm working on, and I will have a new StarCraft-related project once I return, so keep your eyes and ears open for that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is it. This is it for me. It's been a blast working with you guys and getting to know everybody over the past couple of years, and what else can I say? Stay in touch. Hit me up on Twitter. A couple of us have been messing around with a Discord server in the past couple of months. We were thinking about maybe moving the whole team over there, but no, that's probably not going to happen. It's just kind of too much of a administrative nightmare at this point to migrate everybody. But so I've been running my own Discord server. So if you want to come hang out there and chat with me and a couple of the other guys from All In that have been hanging out with me there, hit me up for an invite. Everyone's welcome, though. I can't guarantee that the same types of moderation you've been used to in All In will be enforced there. But yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. So it's thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks so much for the past couple of years. It's been great. I'll see y'all on the flip side, I guess. But enough sentimental crap from me. Make sure you congratulate Scion next time you see her for just a really well-played series. I am super impressed by her. I'll try to throw the replays for this series up on the Wikipedia page so you guys can have a look at those and take a look at her openings and that kind of stuff. I think there's a lot of good Zergy stuff to work with there. But yeah, here we are. The All-Invitational 7 is concluded, and I'm out of things to say. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for bearing with me as this took a much longer amount of time than I originally budgeted for, but we stuck to it and we got through it. So that's it. that's it for me. That's it for the All-Invitational 7. That's it, guys. So, thanks so much for watching, and thanks for supporting me over the years. I'll talk to you soon. Harlock out. Peace.
The device has been modified. The device has been modified. All you know is what I